Welcome to Car Observer. This is a BMW 118i, and in the next 4 minutes I'm going to answer 3 simple questions. Is the 118i better than its direct competitor? Is it good value for money, and would you want to buy one? These days, unfortunately, not all BMWs are created equal. I mean, this one, for example, has a 1.6 litre engine. And on top of that, this class is incredibly competitive. I mean, the Audi A3 comes with loads of equipment and stunning build quality and great engines. And the Mercedes A-Class, where it doesn't really have a great interior, but it does have a Mercedes-Benz badge, which counts for a lot, and it's loaded with equipment. So as a result, BMW have recently reduced the price of the 118i. It now comes in at $42,500, which actually includes an 8-speed automatic transmission and satellite navigation as standard, but misses out on Bluetooth audio streaming. What were you thinking, BMW? What person who buys your car doesn't have a smartphone and doesn't want to stream music? Anyway, on with the review. From this rear 3/4 view, it actually looks quite stunning. Has that beautiful long nose like all BMWs do, but then most cars look good from the rear 3/4 view, if we're honest. As a side-on profile, I actually think this car looks really rather nice. Then we come round to the front of the car and things change dramatically. I mean, first of all, you've got these eyelash things here, which look a bit drag queen if you ask me. I mean, yes, it has a BMW kidney grille, and yes, it has a BMW badge, but overall, it's not what you'd call gorgeous, is it? And let's perform the industry standard. Can you fit a human inside? Yes, you can. Right, now with that job done, it's time to explain that, alas, a BMW, in a base model no less, comes with rear split folding seats as standard, and they fold flat too. Then when you find yourself in the rear of the BMW, things are still looking up. I mean, headroom, I'm 6'2", and I actually have space in between my head and the roof. Knee room's a bit tight, leg room's a bit tight, but overall it feels pretty spacious. It's definitely bigger than the previous 1 Series, but not quite as spacious as an A3 or a Mercedes A-Class. Inside the 118i, it's pretty nice in here. I mean, this nice flowing dash, this driver-orientated console, the aluminium look highlights, but some of the pieces of plastic are a bit scratchy. The steering wheel, the stitching just feels a bit not quite super premium. The seats are just standard seats. They're not overly comfortable or overly sporty. I mean, you have to option the sports pack to get that. So there are a few options you can tick to make the interior a little bit nicer. But overall, very nice place, very nice ambient sitting in here. Not quite as high quality as an A3. Probably better than a Mercedes A-Class though, and the driving position is typical BMW, very sporty. One of the things I really love is the steering wheel has a load of adjustment that comes all the way out here, so you can sit back nice and far even if you've got long legs like me and still be in the correct driving position. The gear lever takes a bit of getting used to at first. This 8-speed automatic transmission is a bit sort of space age, but you know, once you get the hang of it, it's kind of okay. Down here you've got these Sport and Eco Pro buttons, so press Eco Pro, you go into Eco Pro mode for efficient dynamics, efficient driving. Press the Sport button, go back into Comfort, and then I can go up to Sport mode, changes on the dash and tells me the car's ready for sports driving, and then I can press the traction control button, which activates the dynamic traction control, which gives me a little bit of slip but still allows me to get around the corner relatively safely. Let's test the driving experience. Now I've got it in D, I've got it in sport mode, I've got the traction control partially off. It's called dynamic traction control to give me a bit more play in the corners. Alright, first test, 1.6 litre engine, foot hard down. Yeah, it goes okay, but it just doesn't sound like a BMW should. It doesn't have any rumble or roar or growl or snarl or anything. It's just too quiet. I'm not engaged by the engine in any way. Let's stick the gear shift into manual, put it down a few gears, and let's try a corner, shall we? Remember, the traction control is partially off. You can feel the rear wheel driveness. Down a gear, let's turn in. And oh, that's the back's come out. That's what's happened there. But that said, as crazy as that just was, it doesn't really feel right in this car. The suspension's a bit too bouncy, it's a bit too soft, which is great for tootling around town, but not really designed to do this sort of thing. So what I would say is, if you're an enthusiast driver and you like to drive, this is probably not the BMW for you. In fact, in this price range, an Audi A1 Sport is a lot nicer to drive, and the engine's a lot growlier. Probably even the 1.8 litre A3 Quattro would be a better bet. It's just that in a 118i, yes, it's rear wheel drive, but what's the point? Its engine hasn't got enough balls and it's a bit too bouncy. But if you want a BMW for going around town, taking the kids to school, or just generally showing off, it's great. It's really quiet in here. The gearbox is smooth, the engine's smooth, the steering's really nice. It's not a bad steer at all. It's just not red hot in any way whatsoever.